objective. Right? It all started with a vision, because when I was running Mercury Capital Singapore, I was back home after a long time, and I was just running a company. And of course, you needed human resource. And initially, I thought that it was going to be very difficult to find people who could handle recruitment process. But to my surprise, a lot of fresh graduates and I would say young entrepreneurial people with entrepreneurial mindset, they were able to do what was thought otherwise impossible, right? Because recruitment and handling international recruitment is not an easy thing. So after a couple of years, I started asking myself, what have I done really for Northeast or for India since the time I've been back? Well, the answer was that I've been able to generate some employment. Better?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Oh, no wonder I was actually saying something to you and then you were not responding. I was thinking,
Okay.
Okay,
So
fine.
sorry about that.
No problem.
So we are live on Facebook and we are good to go.
Fine. Okay.
Okay. So hello everyone and welcome to yet another episode of Humans of Mitti Ke Rang Northeast Talk Series. Today we have with us Mr. Dink Nong, who is the founder and managing director of RAD Institute. He has done his MSc in International Business from Sheffield Business School in United Kingdom. He has experience in multiple industries, including business conferencing, furniture, event management, and recruitment. He was also the general manager of Mercury Capital Singapore. So welcome, sir, and thank you for taking out some time to join us.
Thank you.
So the first thing I want to ask you is what was the objective behind starting RAD and what do you aim to do in the future?
Well, the objective, I never started RAD with an objective. Right? It all started with a vision, because when I was running Mercury Capital Singapore, I was back home after a long time, and I was just running a company. And of course, you needed human resource. And initially, I thought that it was going to be very difficult to find people who could handle recruitment process. But to my surprise, a lot of fresh graduates and I would say young entrepreneurial people with entrepreneurial mindset, they were able to do what was thought otherwise impossible, right? Because recruitment and handling international recruitment is not an easy thing. So after a couple of years, I started asking myself, what have I done really for Northeast or for India since the time I've been back? Well, the answer was that I've been able to generate some employment. Okay, we've been able to do something new, but we generated employment for probably 50 to 100 people. What about the rest of the lakhs of people? And that's when I thought, that's when it sort of kicked me that why not if we give them also the opportunity to do something that this 50 and 100 are doing. But obviously me working with a company, I didn't have extra time on hand to train people, to guide them. So, that slowly led to the birth of RAD Institute. As, in terms of the end goal and the vision of RAD Institute, if we could just make 5% change, positive change to the education system in terms of, maybe a little bit more career oriented, from that perspective, if we could contribute 5% change in the next 3 to 5 years, that will be more enough. And beyond that, I haven't thought about it really.
Okay. So do you see a difference in work ethics and, leadership skills in other countries and India?
Okay. I mean, that's a very interesting question, Manjiri, to be honest. Okay. Honestly, I haven't worked in an Indian organization per se, right? But I have worked with people from India when I was in Singapore and UK as well. But if you ask me, what I feel is that there is not much of a difference anymore. Maybe there was a difference maybe 10 years ago or something, the boss culture and all this sort of things. But I think, with globalization and with cultures, different, and with the diversity that we have, and with new projects, international projects that companies are working on, foreigners coming to India working. So because of all this, I really don't think there is any difference in work ethics and leadership. But speaking of work ethics and leadership, I believe that it could differ, but not country-wise, Manjiri. It would differ individual-wise, it would differ company-wise, right? Based on the culture they already have put in place, right? So I can't say, and I wouldn't say that, it'll differ from country to country. Okay, it could differ from company to company, and the leaders, founders to founders. So my if you ask me, my honest opinion is the difference that can bring you can bring as a leader would be the quality of ownership and leading by example. Some companies in India probably are doing that. They're not probably, they are doing that. They're leading by example. They show a huge amount of ownership, and I think that's where the difference is. And
Okay.
as per leadership, I think leaders or the top management team, they're very open-minded. They're very flexible nowadays. There's this fun work culture as well in India. If example, Urban Clap. So Manjari, I would really not say that there is, visible difference in work ethics and leadership in India and other countries.
Okay. So, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of
Right.
people have lost their jobs,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of businesses are facing a number of problems as well, especially the new ones who, lack an experience in business. So, do you think that this pandemic has somehow affected or changed the decision-making capacity of young entrepreneurs?
Um, well, good and bad. Okay, good and bad. But if I may start with the bad thing, it will be, you know, decision-making skill is actually not a very easy skill to acquire. You know, not for people like us, not for people who are more experienced than us. We are always in this continuous process of improving our decision-making process, because one thing that's very difficult about making the right decision is forecasting the consequence of that decision. Now, all the more because of pandemic, forecasting the consequence of your particular decision has become tougher. That's the bad thing. So in terms of decision making, since it has become tougher, they are kind of, they feel this sort of hopelessness, in a way, I would say. Okay, in terms of skills, it's not going to improve, or it's not going to make it worse for them, because after pandemic, there are going to be a lot more bigger problems. You never know, right? The good thing is that I feel the young entrepreneurs have started valuing what was before pandemic, right? The easy access to the market, and not having to be by themselves all the time. Access to their mentors, being able to take advice from different other more experienced people. Now, they've started valuing this, especially having that access to the market. Developing market in pandemic is very difficult right now. And because of that, I feel the good thing is that they've become more realistic in terms of their decision-making skills.
Okay. Next thing I want to ask is, Manipur has so many talented individuals, and
Right.
do you think the COVID-19 outbreak has
Mm-hmm.
somehow changed the point of view of youngsters like us towards business and entrepreneurship?
Again, there's a, definitely there is, it has impacted youngsters and the new age entrepreneurs. Again, it's a very similar question to what you asked me before. But because of pandemic, you know, they might have big plans, right? They might have big plans initially, then pandemic happened, and they kind of think that, they can buy some time, they can, they can be a bit laid back, because things are not just going to move. That's what they feel, right? But things are moving. Yes, companies are laying off, but companies are hiring at the same time, for example, right? New businesses are coming up, right, because of this pandemic, right? But a lot of entrepreneurs who already stepped foot into a venture, who already had started something new just before the pandemic, they're starting to feel that, okay, right, things, improvement is going to be slow. It has impacted them from that angle. I strongly feel so. I strongly feel so.
Okay. Well, I think if you come to think about it, a lot of businesses have also come up during the pandemic.
Exactly.
And
That's what I was saying.
yeah, so what should the young entrepreneurs like us, keep in mind the factors, the situation, and everything during these times of crisis?
Well, the first thing I would say is don't overthink, because it's not going
Yeah.
to help you, right? Do some self-reflection, but don't overdo it again, because it's not going to help you as well, right? Um, I have three letters for that, right? Triple I. Okay, so I would say that, instead of overthinking, instead of trying to trying to be, I would say, too absorbed in what's happening, what's going to happen. I would say uh, you for people like you, I would definitely say innovate, right? Innovate, improvise, invest on yourselves. Okay, or maybe in a sequential manner, I would say invest on yourselves in terms of your skills, because it's the right time to invest time on yourself to improve your skills in terms of business, in terms of corporate etiquettes, corporate skills, because the competition is going to get only tougher after pandemic, whatever it is. It's going to get tougher, right? And then think about innovating all the time, and improvise, right? Don't be afraid, make the mistakes. It's a perfect time to explore new things, whether be it in business, be it in a new job, career. Make the mistakes, be prepared, because competition is going to get really, really, really tough.
Okay, so if just a scenario I'm taking, if I want to start a business after the pandemic, what scopes are there to, continue? Like, what do I do to get
Okay.
into the market? Because, as you said, the competition is tougher.
Okay, it really again depends, right? Whether you're talking about product or service, what is your target market, all these sort of things. But it all boils down to one thing only. If you are looking to be an entrepreneur, right, a successful entrepreneur, learn sales. Learn sales, try to master it ASAP. It has been needed from day one. It will be needed. It is needed right now. It's always going to be the key ingredient of a successful entrepreneur. And a lot of people feel that they have this misconception about sales, but sales is a very wide scope. And for every entrepreneur, whether they are young, whether they are seasoned, and especially for seasoned entrepreneurs as well who didn't have the opportunity to master the art of sales, I would say, it is the right time to actually brush up on your sales skills.
Okay, so that was my last question.
All right.
Um, so on that note, I would like to conclude our session. Thank you so much for joining us and taking out the time. And
Sure.
I hope you bring about the changes in our in the lives of the people, and keep on creating young leaders. And to
Sure.
also
Sure.
the viewers, sorry, I'm sorry, what?
No, I was just saying, I was acknowledging what you're saying.
Okay.
Mhm.
And to also the viewers, stay tuned, stay safe. We'll be right back with more such podcast. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Manjiri. Thank you. Okay. Good night.